This is We All Be, news-free Dixie for the 21st century. See how it works? Somewhere. Can you dig it?
And also, I like for you to address, too. I know I had a chance to actually ask the famous lecturer, the author, Tariq Nasheed of Hidden Colors fame, about your situation. Like, he's been going on his platform saying that you are an agent. And, you know, people really, he got a lot of influence in the black community, Tariq Nasheed. And I was going to get your take about that, because a lot of people do think that you are an agent. Like you said, you was making $115,000 a year, getting paid by the government, but you was not making any type of, I guess, income from your activist activities. How would you explain that? Or what are your thoughts on that?
You know, and I don't know much about this Nasheed character. I know that he's not a social activist in the African community, so he's not somebody that I would find relevant as a real freedom fighter, what his opinion is. But I would say this: I understand the position and the mentality of your average black person that here's a person working with the government, because this is what happens. Since we found out about COINTELPRO, how they get government-paid informants to undermine the nationalist community and kill our leaders, it has properly sent a level of fear or concern and apprehension in the minds of people who want to do something for black people. And it should. This is the problem, though. The fear and apprehension and the concern has gone to the point of becoming irrational and thoughtless and pretty much ridiculous. Consider the fact that, first of all, we all would know this. This is for a thinking person who uses their brain. An agent for the government that's sent to undermine the African-centered community doesn't go to work every day. Their work is being an African-centered community. In other words, they don't have an office. They meet in a back alley somewhere, or they meet somewhere and they get their instructions. They don't work a real government job every day sitting at an office with their name where everybody can see them. It would defeat the purpose, because particularly with the internet today, if I'm listed one place with my real name and my full duties and responsibilities, and everybody can see that, then it would be pretty much ridiculous and impossible for me, on the other hand, to be an undercover agent, because I'm not undercover. I'm in wide space. The whole purpose of being an undercover agent and working on behalf of the government is no one knows that you work for the government. In fact, people believe that you are authentically part of the movement. They have no idea how you come up with all of this money and how you get the access to all of this stuff, but you just do it, and it's kind of amazing, and then you start trouble amongst African people. And you advocate drug use. You advocate homosexuality. You advocate acceptance of things that are not good for the black community. If anybody has any amount of intellect or intelligence, or just even reasonable person, they would look at what we do, and you just look at any glance, a cursory glance at anything Irritated Genie or Warner Horizon has done, and the intelligent person says, well, they can't be working for the government. Why? Well, he's calling, the whole push is for our people to accept Obama. When the Obama campaign was going on, the Irritated Genie was coming out there telling us he's going to be promoting homosexuality in Africa. Don't support this guy. He's one of the few voices that was saying it. Well, the government wouldn't pay him to speak out against Obama when he's working for Obama. That doesn't make any sense. Another thing, and this one really is a telltale story for a thinking person.
Mm-hmm.
I have the key to the African mind. I mean, you've seen some of the work that we do.
Right.
And I'm saying beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt, I'm telling people, I mean, I don't have a problem saying it. If you put any black person in front of me and they give me an audience, you give me 3 hours, I'm going to capture their mind, because I have that key. Here's the thing, though. If you're an agent, you are given access to black people because you're an agent. You got a job to do to undermine black people. So the government will make sure that you get as much exposure and access to black people as possible, because that's your job. You never heard of an agent that couldn't get access or didn't have money or resources. That doesn't exist, because that's the very reason that the agent exists. On the contrary, the only reason I'm not having and we're not having more impact is because the doors to access to African people in our minds have been closed to us. So, like for instance, right now at Lincoln University, the Obama administration has made a mandate that every college, and that's the HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, every single black college and colleges in general that receive government money, which is most of them, must have at least one event per year promoting homosexuality. So right now, we see an event recently at Lincoln University where they're promoting homosexuality to the black students. And even if the faculty and the administrators don't agree with it, if they're going to receive funding and keep their school alive and viable, they're forced to do it. But at the same time, brothers and sisters like myself who have a message to tell our children this is a bad policy, it's a bad direction to go for, this is destructive to the African community, we don't have access to the same doors. The money goes to these other individuals who are trying to destroy and dismantle black culture and black family. But the people like myself that's fighting to do it don't get access. If I was an agent, if I was working for the devil, then they would make it possible. I would speak at every college and university in this country every weekend. I would not even get a chance to talk to you. I'd be too busy. Because they want me, whatever they got me to do, they want me to be able to be effective in doing that. And the only way you can be effective as an agent is to have access. So to that, I'm just saying, I don't really listen to a lot of the stuff people say because it's not coming from people that think. Once a person sits down and thinks, all you have to do, even though we don't know what the modern COINTELPRO looks like, we don't know until somebody comes out and tells us. What we do know, the basic premise of a trader is that they're going to encourage us to do negative things. They're going to encourage us to fight one another. And they are going to take information from us and give to the government. The problem with that notion with myself is I'm the one bringing the information. The government don't have the information and the analysis that I bring down. If you look at the information that we provide, if you look at any of these videos, the feminization of the black male parts 1 through 4, the analysis I do of the European mind and European behavior, they don't have that nowhere. That's my analysis. They cannot give it to me because they don't analyze and study themselves. They study us because they want to kill us. And if you want to kill a group of people, you need to know those people. Well, I study them because they're the ones that's killing us. They don't have no way to tell me how to study them because they don't study themselves. And so if I'm giving you a read and a study and a breakdown intellectually of what we are facing, that doesn't exist. It's coming from me. So how can I be a government agent when what they would be paying me to give, they don't have? What they have is drugs. I ain't giving you no drugs. I'm telling you not to do dope. They got bad psychology and words, so they want you to use the N-word. I don't ever call you the N-word. I tell you not to use that. It kills yourself. They have integration, telling us to out our race. You see it all over. I don't tell you to date outside your race. I tell you as a black man, be loyal to your black women. Black women, be loyal to your black man. They tell you to be a homosexual. I don't tell you to be a homosexual. Everything that the enemy wants to give you, then you know who your traitors are because that's what they're giving you. They're giving you what the devil wants you to have. All you got to do is look at what's happening to our community, and if you want to know who the traitors are, look and see who's advocating on any level the stuff that's killing our community. Nobody can say that anything that we produce is doing anything but helping our community. In fact, I would say, tell me who's giving more information critical to the sustenance and survival of African people than One Horizon. I don't even think it exists.
I want to say, too, man, there's so many things, like questions or answers you gave, and also things I'm thinking about as I'm listening to you talk. Number one, I believe with the Honorable Brother Dick Gregory that the best black leadership that we have produced, a lot of them have their roots in the HBCUs. I mean, you're a product of Hampton University. You see what I'm saying? You're a product of the HBCU. So many of our great leaders and innovators were products who either went or taught at HBCUs. So it's funny now that HBCUs are under attack at this moment when we need a strong foundation for our community. A couple other things as well. I think you did a great job articulating what an agent really is, because I believe that we are all informant. You know, if you got a Facebook profile, if you got a Twitter account, if you got an Instagram, you are an informant. It does not make you an agent provocateur. I see that's the thing that it was interesting a couple of years ago when it came out that Ernest Withers was a paid FBI informant. I mean, he was a freelance photographer. He used to be a Memphis police officer. But the thing about it is, he's a freelance photographer. I mean, FBI agent can say, okay, I want to buy that picture from you. Who are these people in this picture? He was not an agent provocateur in the sense that he actually helped mastermind or help aid in the mastermind and undermining of the movement. But he was documenting the movement, so it made him a valuable source of information. So I definitely agree with you a lot of your points. I don't consider you in the same realm as a William O'Neill, who set up Fred Hampton, who was an agent provocateur. Fred Hampton's bodyguard, who set him up. I think it's interesting that you raise a lot of interesting points that people really need to address. Because, like, when I first met you back in March and Cynthia McKinney, you didn't hide anything. I remember when the email went out to our group that met with Cynthia McKinney down in Georgia. They said, oh, he works for the Department of Homeland Security. Your name was prominently featured on the website. You wasn't hiding that. Even in some of your lectures, you talk about the reasons why you had to go back to get a government job. Because the movement doesn't pay. I mean, Malcolm was broke when he died. He had 6 daughters. He didn't have no money in the bank. Dr. King didn't have no money. The movement does not pay. You got to do this for the love of your people if you want to serve the people. You got to love the people inside themselves because our people have been so conditioned. So I want to thank you for making those points very clear.
Hey, everybody, this is Brother Ron. I am asking you all to do me a big favor. Think about supporting the We All Be movement. Your donation is tax deductible. The We All Be Group Incorporated is a recognized 501c3. And I'm just asking you all because I want to keep on bringing y'all quality work through the way that I know how to do best. And I'm going to sing my praises and toot my horn. A lot of y'all were not hip to Dick Gregory until Brother Ron brought him on the We All Be platform, until that Django review we did. Y'all seen another side of Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Joe Brown's message has been amplified. But it was We All Be that brought Judge Joe Brown to y'all back in 2014. And so many others. And we covered so many things. So help us out so we can help you all. Peace.